I am finally back. It's been a couple of months since I've made a video, and now I'm kind of back to normal life. If y'all don't know, I was pregnant. I am no longer pregnant, thanks the Lord. I am now a mama with a cute little baby. He is 3.5 months. And I will be doing this video generally just about mama duties, about life as a mama, and if you guys just want to keep hearing about it, just keep on watching. So let's start with, of course, the number one thing, which was labor. So how was my labor? I can definitely say contractions are pain that you cannot describe, okay? It is crazy the amount of pain that you go through during your contractions. It's like an unbearable pain I cannot describe. So my respect for mamas of 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, including my mother, who's a mother of 7. I don't know how they did it. Like I felt like I was gonna die. I remember at some point I was screaming like, "Jesus, take me, please," because I did not. I at that point I wanted to die. Like it was pretty bad. But thank the Lord, my labor was actually, when I look back on it, it was such a beautiful experience. I was only in labor from like about 9:30 till so they had given me the due date of the 10th. He was born on the 9th. So on the 8th, I had gone to my last appointment and I was pretty much done. I was swollen, I was big, I was in a lot of discomfort, and they said, you know what, we're gonna induce you because you're pretty much due in 2 days. The baby's ready, he's big, and your body can no longer take it. So that day they told me they had a bed ready for me at 8 o'clock. Around 6 o'clock, I received a phone call that there was like a baby boom, and they had all these moms in the hospital, and that there was no bed. So they were gonna call me when one was available. It's like if he had heard, because I'm sitting at home waiting, anxious when they're gonna call me, and I started to get contractions, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, is this the real thing? Like, is this really happening? And it was. I started getting pain at the time I was supposed to go in and get induced, and 3 hours after that, I could no longer take it. I don't know if y'all know, but us Hispanic people have a lot of beliefs and a lot of just traditions and a lot of little things that we do to kind of help the process or speed up the process. And one of them was drinking cinnamon tea. My mom made me 3 cups of cinnamon tea. I mean, it was so strong, the water was black. So I drank the tea, and I'm telling you, my contractions started coming every minute. That's when I headed to the hospital. Obviously, like I had said, that night they had no beds. So I was waiting for a good, from like 11 to like 1 something in the morning. Long story short, I finally got a bed. When I got a bed, they gave me the epidural quickly because, of course, I was going to get the epidural. I refused to put myself through any type of pain. And lucky me, the epidural did not help. For a whole hour, I was still feeling worse pains, and it just got worse and worse. And then they had to give me a second dose, and then everything just numbed. And I was smiling. I was happy. I mean, they were like, Mom, you need to rest because you're going to have a long night. Of course, they think when it's your first baby, you kind of struggle to give birth. But I was so excited. I was like, I cannot sleep. I need to be awake. And, my sister-in-law, my husband, and my mom were the ones there. And they were tired. You can tell they were sleepy. It was like 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm wide awake. I'm like, when can I start pushing? And I couldn't feel anything. I mean, it was a beautiful thing. I had no pain. And in a matter of 20 minutes, my baby was born. I mean, I even asked for a mirror. I mean, it was a beautiful thing. I enjoyed every moment of it. And then my doctor was great. I mean, he even let me record the whole thing. So I have so much memories like recorded where I can look back, and let me tell you, every time I watch that video, I cry. Like, I mean, not just like tears, I mean that ugly cry, because I just think about all the struggle and like just everything that I had to go through to have my little bundle of joy, which was completely. He's currently 3.5 months. He weighed 7 pounds 2.6 ounces. He was 19 3/4 long. He was a little mini, very skinny, very long, but the cutest little thing I've ever seen in my life. And let me tell you, when they put him on my chest, I was in awe. It was more of a shock. Like, I thought to myself, like, is this really him? Like, was this little human really inside of me? I mean, when you're pregnant and you feel him kicking and you just have so much emotions and you're excited to meet him, but once you actually physically see your child for the first time, you just can't believe that your body was able to grow such a thing, and that's when you realize, God's plan and God's power is just amazing. Like that one human can grow another. So, of course, I was just so excited. I was so happy to see him. My husband was emotional. My mom was emotional. My sister-in-law was such a blessing to have with me as well. She motivated me. I remember looking at her and saying like, I can't do it. And she just kept saying, you can. Um, she recently also had a baby. Her baby is about 3+ months older than mine. So they're little cousins. They're going to grow together. So I'm really excited about that. So she kind of had just gone through everything recently. So she was just there to motivate me and to help me. Um, so it was definitely an experience. It was very eventful, but it was such a breeze. I mean, I hear horrible stories, including my sister-in-law's, where they're in labor for 24 hours, 48 hours, and I was literally in labor for a couple hours, and he was like out and ready to come into the world in a matter of like 20 minutes. I had no struggle pushing, which is also rare because usually when it's your first baby, you don't know how to push. They have to kind of instruct you and kind of push you through it. But I mean, even though I couldn't feel anything, it was just loving me because it's tough, let me tell you. When they see me with my child, usually the first question is, are you going to have another one? Or, oh my God, he's so adorable. Are you going to have another one? Do you want to have a little sister? Yeah, about that, I don't think that's gonna happen. At this point, I'm barely getting back to my old life, my old self. I've just started going to the gym this past week. I'm kind of pulling myself together, and it's a lot. It's an emotional roller coaster. Physically, it's very drastic the change that you go through. And at this point, I don't desire to have any more children. It's surprising because I do come from a large family, but maybe in the future, maybe when he's older, I probably think, hey, like, let's have another one. Like, he's so cute, but it's a lot of work. A lot of work. I'm breastfeeding, strictly breastfeeding, and it's tough. When he was first born with their newborns, you have to wake up every like hour and a half, and you have to change your diapers, and you have to feed him, and you have to burp them, and then by the time you go back to sleep, guess what? It's time to wake up again and breastfeed him. I can honestly say, out of everything that I've gone through, sleep deprivation has definitely been the top thing. Like people talk about how they're expensive and diapers and such, and thank God we've learned to manage. But when it comes to sleep deprivation, it sucks because, when you're breastfeeding, you can't physically take your boob off and have your man feed him for you. I will put a shout out to Medela. I do have the pump, and for a couple days, sometimes I pump, and my husband does take over because physically, I can no longer do it. Like I can't get up. I'm just like in bed, like I can't, like my body can't. And you realize how strong you are at those points because you ask yourself, like, I really have done this for the past months. For the past 3.5 months, I have been sleep deprived and I'm still alive. Like my eyeballs haven't fallen out yet. Yes, I do have some bags. This is a moment where I would wish that I wore makeup or I knew how to do makeup, but unfortunately I don't. So I kind of just have to deal with the bags, okay, and just embrace them and realize that this is my new mommy life. So sleep deprivation has been the toughest, but when I see him smile at me now in the morning, because he's about to be 4 months, so now he's getting to the stage where he smiles, where he giggles, where I talk to him and he looks at me and he knows who I am, and he's very, very, very happy in the morning. I can say he got that from me because I am a morning person, and he's just the most sweetest, happy baby ever. But it's very tough. So my whole input now in life is just like I just see moms in a different light. Like when I see women walking with children, before I used to be like, oh, he's so cute, and now I'm like, bow down to you, kudos to you. You're just it, because it is tough. Just with one, I can't picture myself having another one on top of that. So life has definitely been changing for me lately. Now, three things I have learned. Number one, you are never prepared for motherhood or parenthood. Nothing can ever prepare you for that. It's true, they're not born with a manual, but I, as a Christian, believe that the Bible is your number one go-to manual. Those moments where I have felt emotionally drained or depressed, because you do, I don't want to say depressed, but you do get the blues, the mommy blues, where you look at yourself in the mirror and you no longer see a nice stomach. You see, a bloated stomach. You see little stretch marks growing. And you have to tell yourself, my husband has been such a great support system to me where he's told me, like, babe, like, you just gave birth. Like, you just had a little human. Like, it's okay. Um, and just getting back to my old self, making sure that I look good all the time, because that physically makes me feel better about myself. If I throw myself on the bed and just lay all day and just not do anything with myself, it just gets you in a worse mood. It's definitely been an adapting, moment for me of not being able to just go get ready and leave. Like, always have to worry about getting him ready, making sure he's fed, making sure he's changed, making sure he has milk. If we go out somewhere, I know it's going to be a few hours. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And so I have learned that nothing can ever prepare you for number two. Every baby's different, okay? Every labor story, every birth, every baby, every experience is different. I used to watch labor videos. I used to watch experiences. I used to watch advice videos. I mean, YouTube was my go-to. The last few days where I couldn't sleep and I was sleep deprived at nighttime because I was so big and swollen and uncomfortable. I literally, YouTube was like my entertainment, or movies and such. And I can definitely say that all those videos, nothing like my story. There was moms complaining about how they had, the worst labor, or they were in labor for so long, or their baby this or their baby that. But my experience was so different. So that's another thing I learned, to never compare or expect your story to be like everyone else's, because everyone's is different. Number three, I learned that you can never be too harsh on yourself. What do I mean by this? My biggest struggle has been getting back to my normal self, my weight, and just my overall physical health. I can definitely say that maybe if I didn't go through the aftermath that I went through after giving birth, I probably would say I want a kid, like soon, another one, because they're so cute and my labor was so quick and my labor was just beautiful. But the aftermath of giving birth was very tough for me. I also got something called PUPS. If you guys don't know what it is, basically it's like your skin has a reaction. They say it's most common with first-time moms that have boys, because apparently their DNA kind of like goes through kind of like a war with yours, and like your body's just going through such a trauma that it physically reacts to it, where you get little like bumps. It looks like hives, and you kind of itch like excessively. And it got so bad. Like, now my view on life is completely different. I mean, before I obviously was very appreciative of life. I was very, I knew that, God had a plan for everybody and that God just made everything perfect. But now that I'm a mom, I have a higher and stronger belief for that. Like, the way that God created women, our ability to be strong, our ability to overcome such a tough process, and just the strength to really grow a human inside of you and to give birth to it and love it and take care of it and have that maternal instinct. Like, I just think it's such an amazing thing. And going through that kind of strengthened my faith as well. And it also strengthened my marriage. It made us even closer. I mean, we are so tight bonded, but after this, obviously, he saw me in a different light. He had never seen me go through such a stressful moment and just scream and panic and just sincerely look in his eyes and say, like, I'm in pain and like agony, and it's those moments where you realize how much your partner means to you and how much of a support and how much of loving they are to you and how much they're willing to be there for you. My husband was great, through the whole process while I was recuperating. He would help me use the bathroom. When I was tired, he would take over with the baby. And he still does till this day. And he was amazing. And I know that God puts certain people in your life to help you get through these tough things. My family has been great as well. And it's just those times where you realize who really cares for you and who really loves you. And let me tell you, A support system is key. Those single moms, I mean, my respects for you. I don't know how you guys do it. Obviously, I consider myself a strong person, but I do have someone to help me. I do have family to help me. But those single moms that just do it on their own and that they work and they go to school and they manage to make it and they manage to be somebody and be there for their children, to me, that's admirable. And that's something that I maybe didn't think about too much before because I didn't know what it really was to be a mother. And let me tell you, that saying that my mom used to say to me all the time, like, you don't know what love is, and you don't know what it is to be a mother until you have your own child. Mama, I get it now, okay? It clicks as soon as you have the baby and you see him in your arms and you feed him and you cuddle him and you cater to his needs. It all clicks in and you understand that yes, you don't know what it is to be a mom or how it is to love like a mom until you're a mom yourself. Best advice for my new mamas is take one day at a time. If you ever feel overwhelmed, if you ever feel stressed, take a moment to just breathe. Just close your eyes and just let it all sink in. Always try to look for a support system, whether it's friends, whether it's a partner, whether it's your parents, family, whatever the case may be. And also, like I said, don't be tough on yourself. You're beautiful inside and out, no matter how many stretch marks you have, no matter how many pounds you've gained. Just the ability to bring another human into this world makes you an amazing individual. And love yourself and appreciate yourself. And also, once you start kind of getting back to your normal life, like I'm saying that I'm getting back to now, take time for yourself. Go out to dinner with your girls, go vent, go, take time for yourself. It's okay to get ready. It's okay to look nice. It's okay to do your hair. It's okay to buy a couple things for yourself because you deserve it. I mean, there's nothing in this world that anyone can give you that will pay you for such a tough job, which is to be a mom. We don't get paid to be a mom, okay? We don't get breaks. We don't get vacations. It's a 24-hour job. And it's something that we should be very proud of because, you know, just the privilege of being a mom. There's plenty of women in the world who unfortunately cannot have children, cannot bear. And it's just a blessing to be able to say, I am a mother. And just keep going. Don't ever give up. And I'm telling you, any tough moment, whether it's being sleep deprived, whether it's feeling the blues, it will pass. And you will look back at it and you'll be proud of yourself and you'll say, wow, like I did that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try to make it kind of short, sweet, to the point. I wanted to kind of just get back into the flow of things of making videos. I promised myself, even though I have a lot going on, I have school, I have, my baby, obviously, that he's still little. He's only 3.5 months. My wife, um, I have a lot going on. But even then, I feel like I need to get back into the flow of things of making videos, really put a lot of effort into my channel so that it can grow, not for the views and not for whatever. I do it because I feel like the purpose of my channel, which I created it for, is something that I'm very passionate about. And I'm also getting involved a lot with my church. I'm teaching the youth at my church. And it's just, I feel like, although, I'm a mom, when you become a mom, you're like superwoman. You feel like you can just conquer it and do it all. So that's basically what I'm doing with my life. I'm trying to just sink it, make it all sink in, get myself together and just do what I'm passionate and what I love. And I really want to get this channel moving. I really want to get your input of ideas of videos that I should make. And hopefully I can upload every week. I did make a Snapchat and Instagram for my page. It's fairly new. I think it's like a week or 2 weeks new. So I only have a couple followers, a couple people, a couple things I've uploaded, not much. Because I plan on making like an actual schedule of like this and this day I will upload or this and this day I will make a video. I'm trying to just get back into the hang of things. So I hope you guys enjoyed again this video. And if you guys want to see more videos, just let me know. And I hope to see you next time. God bless. When you have a baby, you think he's crying all the time, but he's really asleep. Oh my god, have you guys heard the new song Diamonds? Love